How many of you have ever broken a leg or two? Can you remember the pain and the details of how it actually happened? Okay, now, how many of you think that breaking your leg as a result of being run over by a car would hurt even more? Look, this is absolutely insane, folks, because not only did this driver in LA run over this foolish protester in the street this weekend, but the demonstrator got completely obliterated by this Kia driver. And honestly, put up next to Nissan Altima and Dodge Charger drivers, I don't know what could be worse. And it was at that very moment, as tensions flared and people began to gather around, pulling out their smartphones and cameras to record the excruciating pain, that she realized illegal immigrants looking to avoid deportation by ICE and steer clear of being captured, detained during ICE raids, don't even know her name, probably never will, and at the very least are laughing at her insane levels of stupidity to think that she could begin to pose any sort of resistance, stop that car and prevent it from legally driving through an intersection, given they had the green light and the right of way. Well, you'd hope, but I doubt logic and common sense are ever going to fill her mind and body. And even after the initial shock wears off and subsides and she has to recover in the hospital, pay an enormous bill, and probably lose her job for absenteeism, welfare is in her future. But the left will never learn. I mean, it seems pretty simple and quite reasonable, but correct me if I'm wrong. If you don't want to get run over, don't stand in front of cars. I mean, am I right? But what do you think? Do you think drivers have the right to run over protesters who are illegally blocking roadways and attacking their cars? I mean, how would you differentiate and determine the difference between a protester peacefully protesting and, let's just say, a carjacker? Especially as these peaceful protesters are wearing $85 body armor masks and carrying weapons, Molotov cocktails, and rocks. I don't know. I can't make sense of it. Do you think it's wise to knowingly risk life and limb in these streets fighting for the rights of illegals and criminals? And if I ask nicely enough and put on my favorite hat, will YouTube push this video out far and wide, help it go viral, and bring my channel subscriber total to 225,000 plus today? Hey, everybody, and welcome back. I'm skipping the long intro on this one and just jumping right in because it dawned on me today. There comes a time in a man's life when you have to ask yourself, do you just want to make friends or do you want to make money? I mean, think about it. Let's say you're a $ tipper and make your livable wage on a pole or sitting on laps. Do you want clients to tell you how much they like you and appreciate you, or do you want them piling up stacks of cash on top of you so you can pay the rent and buy yourself something nice? Far nicer than a Kia or Nissan Altima. Well, I can only speak from experience, and I, for one, want the money. And that money, the money's in the lie. I mean, shit, Keith Edwards and Midas Touch and Tennessee Brando, all those folks over there, Democrat Now or something, I can't remember the name of the channel. They prove it day in and day out, time and time again. And with that money, I can't wait to buy my next new smartphone. This news just dropped today, and the Trump organization announced Trump Mobile, which will offer 5G service starting at $47.45 through the three major carriers, and will be releasing a phone in August called the T1 phone. And I want one. Let me know if you'd like to see an unboxing and full review. Do me a favor and just in the comments type Trump phone. Just type Trump phone in the comments. The phone's described as a sleek gold smartphone engineered for performance and proudly designed and built in the United States for customers who expect the best from their mobile carrier. The Trump Mobile customer service team will be based right in the USA in St. Louis, Missouri, and will be available 24 hours a day. Come on, guys. I mean, come on now. Can we get a let's fucking go? But obviously, the media is not going to be thrilled. And based on the recent scoreboard totals, collected and tallied up, CNN and MSNBC called the anti-ICE protests peaceful a record-breaking 211 times in just 24 hours. That's not reporting, folks. That's narrative laundering. When fires are burning and mobs are chanting, the media's job isn't to gaslight the public, it's to tell the truth. But truth doesn't serve the left's agenda. Now, does it? The only thing that I can think of that might be crazier than that is the FBI, as they give an update on the Minnesota shooting suspect and how somehow officers arrived at the scene before Vance Boelter even entered the home, got into a shootout, then let him go into the home and take the lives of Melissa Hortman and her husband and then leave. Look, folks, I wasn't born yesterday. And to me, it's not adding up. Does anyone else feel the same way? Oh, and Minnesota officials are still refusing to release Vance Boelter's manifesto, saying it doesn't contain anything meaningful. Come on, give me a freaking break. But wait, there's more. Boelter's charges consist of 4 counts of second-degree murder, not premeditated. Now, can someone please explain to me, how on earth do you charge someone with murder that's not premeditated if they claim it was by assassination and a manifesto was found in the vehicle? What in the actual fuck? He even allegedly killed their rescue dog in this cold-blooded murder killing spree, for crying out loud. Jeez, sick bastard. Now, this whole story unfolding about the alleged assassin, Vance Boelter, is stranger than fiction. Why does he live with several male roommates when he supposedly owns a security company with his wife? The wife and former Tim Walz employee, Jenny, who was detained after police found a gun, ammo, cash, and passports during a traffic stop. Yeah. And he also worked for the Democratic Republic of Congo. The story just keeps getting stranger and stranger. Oh, yeah. And speaking of strange, that creepy roommate doesn't make things any better.
Can you talk about his politics a little bit? I know that you had some discussions. I just wanted to talk.
Well, everyone's calling him a Democrat. He's not a Democrat. He would be offended if people called him a Democrat. He because of this board thing he was on for Governor Walz, it wasn't to serve. He was just serving the community. But I can't believe a political issue would cause him to do such things.
And the suspect in the Minnesota shootings, Vance Boelter, allegedly sent a text at 6:17 a.m., hours after the crimes were committed, to his roommate and best friend. Yeah, something's just not right with this one, folks. This roommate is so sus. The text should be in the past tense. Am I right? I mean, I don't want to implicate you. Instead, I didn't want to implicate you.
Did he ever bring up the senator or the representative who were targeted?
Like I was saying, no, he never talked about them. I didn't know those people. I didn't recognize their names.
Any politicians he mentioned?
Well, he mentioned Nancy Pelosi. He didn't like Jim Walz.
Tim Walz?
Didn't like Jim Biden. But
Tim Walz? What would you say about him?
well, I mean, nothing. It's just normal. Well, I don't like this that Tim Walz did this. I don't like it that he did that.
Did he mention the protests that were planned for
He
yesterday?
never mentioned the protest.
What
What do you make
Trump?
of everything that's happened here and the fact
Maybe
that
I
you like,
mentioned it to him, but I don't think he mentioned anything about it.
What would you tell him?
I would tell him to surrender himself so he can be taken alive, because he's like my best friend, so I don't want him to be killed. I don't want him to kill anyone else, you know. So I think if I saw him, I could talk him down, but I don't know where he is.
And did he listen to any particular podcasts or TV shows or anything online that concerns you?
Well, you listen to Infowars, but I kind of said, well, it's like 50% truth. And you know, I kind of said, don't take everything what they say for granted. I wasn't a real truthful. I mean, they're on for some things, but some things are way off on.
Did he talk much about Trump? And what did he say, if so?
I was a Trump supporter. Voted for Trump. You like Trump? I like Trump. And,
Huh. But I'm sure this story will get buried and memory hold like the rest. I've honestly, at this point in time, lost count of, I don't know, I've lost count of them all by now, but so many questions remain unanswered while the media and the left continue to pump out their no king narrative. Meanwhile, President Trump lands in Calgary after libtards said President Trump will never be allowed in Canada. Elbows up, elbows up. Air Force One touching down on the tarmac in Canada determined that was a lie. Bibi announces and says he understands America first, but he doesn't understand America dead. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? But just watch, wait and see, folks. I bet the left begins delivering their next new talking point about Trump profiting off of his presidency and influence, stealing money from the American people by merely creating jobs and low-cost phone plans and connectivity options. I wouldn't be surprised if his friend Elon Musk is involved in some way, as he's toyed around with the idea of creating the best smartphone we've ever seen before in the past. And of course, President Trump, the king, the dictator, the war hawk, and conflicts in the Middle East will be at the top of the hour on CNN and MSNBC. This shit is nuts, folks, but we're here for it. Or at least I am, and we'll continue to keep you guys in the loop. We'll close with this. President Trump vetoed an Israeli plan to assassinate Iran's Ayatollah Khamenei. Maybe I'm saying it right. Listen to this message about Trump, who's clearly working towards a peaceful resolution here, folks, with no U.S. military involvement. Smash that thumbs up for America First if you would be so kind.
Right now. Good afternoon, Peter.
Good afternoon, Brett. And we can now answer a question that you put to Benjamin Netanyahu that he punted on. A U.S. official is telling us just in the last few minutes since your interview concluded that President Trump did, in fact, in the last couple of days, nix a plan that the Israelis were putting together to assassinate the supreme leader of Iran. So we can put a bow on that as President Trump prepares to come and join us here in Canada. And he is telegraphing the way that he will frame this fight between Israel and Iran once he meets with the other G7 leaders. Part of a long truth social, he says, we will have peace soon between Israel and Iran. Many calls and meetings now taking place. I do a lot, never get credit for anything, but that's okay. The people understand, make the Middle East great again.